Welcome back to Cityscape. We want to welcome everyone that is joining via Facebook, everyone watching us over our YouTube channel, as well as listening to us over the airwaves, 97.7 FM, TuneIn Radio app. However you happen to be listening to us or watching us, welcome. Today we have another exciting interview. It's part of the Film in Valleywood series, and if you don't know about Film in Valleywood, it's a movement of friends, of folks, and with the goal of just promoting more filmmaking here in the Rio Grande Valley. We've got lots of talent down here. We've got everything from actors to we've got crew members. We have directors, producers, great film friendly cities. We've got awesome locations. A lot of you don't have to deal with a lot of the red tape that you have to in a lot of big cities. So if you're looking for a place to shoot, come to Valleywood. Come to the 956. Come to the Rio Grande Valley and shoot. Today, under that series, we have invited Carla Gastel.
Thank
Did
you.
I pronounce it right?
Yes, that was perfect. That was perfect. Yes.
She's a local actress, right?
Yes.
And so tell me about your career. How did you get started in filmmaking, in acting?
It started with theater. I was with my mom. She was attending UTPA at the time, and she had me tag along. And I would go to classes with her, and I remember seeing that there was a poster up outside the studio classroom area, and we both stopped and we were looking at it. And I remember like holding her hand and looking up at her and being like, "Hey, Mom, what is that?" And she's like, "Oh, that's a poster for theater, and that's like when people act and they go on stage and they put on costumes." And even before that, I think I was 6 at the time. I was 6 at the time. And before that, at 4, I remember seeing a fashion show and asking my mom the same thing and being like, "What is that?" And she's like, "Oh, they're models. They're on a runway." And it's like, "Oh, I want to do that." But like, it wasn't necessarily the runway specifically, but the idea of performance and the idea of like a show and like it being choreographed and set up in a certain way, something that took effort and practice. So I would say kind of the fashion show started it all. I can't say which one exactly, but somewhere around 4 years old for me. I'm 27. So if someone can do the math out there and put the two together, that would be great because I'd like to know myself. But it all started with Dr. Warren there at UTPA or UTRGV now, and him doing the children's theater. And luckily it being open to the public at the time, because I'm not too sure now if it's open to the public anymore. But for kids, I assume it is. But at the time, like, it was just the most fun thing for me. I was always looking forward to going. I never once was like, I have to go to theater. At least if I can't remember if I ever did, because of course, like being a kid, you have those like days where it's just like, I just want to be a kid, right? But like, I don't remember ever feeling that or ever attaching any of that sentiment to it. Because to me, it was always like, oh, I'm doing something that's like a dream that like movie stars get to do or like actors get to do. And like, I can consider myself a part of that in some way. That was huge to me, and it still is to a very big degree. So long story short, it was all with UTRGV or UTPA.
Nice. Now, you had a film premiere, about a week ago? Was that about a week? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us about that.
On October 17th, Black Clown 3 premiered at the Pain Arena. It had primarily actors and crew members from the RGV. So that was really exciting to be able to like see people that like I'm familiar with either on a personal level or have seen outside, like through social media or things like that. So it's like, oh, like you're that person and I get to meet you and work with you now. So that's really, really neat. But also being able to work with people from Dallas, if I'm not mistaken. There could be some people from other places as well. But just to see everybody's efforts come together, and then at the Pain Arena, like that was so cool to me. For me, I got to model when I was younger with Missy's Modeling Studio, and we got to open for Raven Simone there at the Pain Arena. So like to go back, and also to see the Killer Bees games and things like that, like to go back for myself and to remember that moment of like freezing and seeing her and being like, holy smokes, like that's somebody that I love and like I see on TV, and she's such a good actress and she's so funny to me. She's so funny. I've made my sisters watch the show with me, and I, like we all got into it. So to like see her in real life, like it just, that moment made it really real for me. You know what I mean? So it was just like, dang, like it's obtainable in that sense or in that way. So and like the Boys in Motion, it was a part of the show, like they performed, so like that was also something that was really cool. But we got to go back and have a full, or I got to go back and have that full circle moment and share it with everybody who I can see all their efforts and their hard work. So it was really really awesome to do it in that way.
Yeah, that was a fantastic production. But I know that the director was from the Dallas area, and it was
Mhm.
also some of the producers from the Dallas area. We had a local producer that was part of the movie
Yes,
as well.
Alyssa, yes,
Um,
Alyssa
and
Renee.
and so it was a combination of just crew and cast and actors from all over the place, and that
Mhm.
was great, and that was so neat, and we want more of those productions in the area.
Yes, I actually got to see Black Clown 2 when they premiered it at Cena about a year and a half ago or so. And I took a video of myself with like clown makeup and like a clown get up as much as I could. And I remember sitting in the audience and hearing Alyssa say, like, this is going to be you guys next. And it makes me emotional. Just like thinking
Hmm.
about it, because it's like, if there's something that you want and there's something that you can see happen for yourself because you see it happen for not other, like for other people, yes, but not to compare yourself, but to say like, okay, if they did it, like I can do it too, you
Hmm.
know. So to be in that moment and then to again be at the Pain Arena and then
Hmm.
being like, oh dang, like I was in that seat once watching this production and then watching it on Tubi again and like seeing them and then being like, mine's gonna be on Tubi, I'm gonna be in that, like I get to be a part of that, like it's insane for me. It's so neat.
So now, without spoiling, anything in the movie, because we want folks to watch it, tell me about
Please.
your character in the movie Black Clown 3.
Um, the main character that I play, his name is Larissa, without giving out spoilers. Um, she is very, she's somebody who, in my way that I could best relate to her, was somebody who never learned how to cope. You know, somebody who was very, very um, emotional, went through a hard upbringing, and I pictured her and her twin brother, who's played by Adrian, to have this mom who was really, the way I described it to my niece when she saw it, really, really sad, and the type of sad to where she needed help and she didn't get help, you know? So that I think is the best way to describe it, because there's some sensitive material, I guess, with that, with young viewers. But I just wanted to be able to relate to her the best that I could, because she is somebody who used her pain in a way that wasn't for good, I guess.
Hmm.
And I guess I'll leave it at that.
Yeah.
But for me personally, it's such a struggle, because it's like there's always those things that happen in life where it's like, oh, like dang, like I was trying so hard today, you know, but then that one little thing happens. But I like to think with her, like she didn't overcome it. She kind of just like stayed angry, you know what I mean? And then started to like putting blame and being like, no, no, no. And like just always turning it outward. So, with her growing up with her brother, I feel like they kind of fed off of that because of them understanding each other, being through the same environment and not being able to really have a way out until they figured out the best way that they could get out in their mind that made sense to them.
Fantastic. And so, yeah, so check it out. How can we watch Black Clown 3?
Um, I believe soon it should be streaming on Tubi and Roku. I could be mistaken, but if anything, as soon as it's out, I'm going to be commenting on these videos wherever they're posted, and also on my page. And also on Black Clown TV on Instagram and Black Clown on Facebook. And also, you can watch the past ones, Black Clown 1 and 2, on Tubi and Roku right now. They're an anthology series the first one has one section that's related to this. It's like a phone call, but other than that, they kind of are their own stories within itself, and it's really really interesting. And I believe they're going to have a Black Clown 4 coming soon, to the RGV. So if I'm not able to be cast, I'm like, I want to help out in some kind of way, because I just want to be able to again contribute to something, to such a good experience. Just the whole start to finish was so awesome for me. Like, it literally was a dream for me to be on set with people that were like-minded, wanting to do the same thing, having the same goal, and then again to like come out and see the outcome. It's awesome. So I'm really excited to see Black Clown 4 come out too.
Fantastic. And so I know you mentioned some of the social media platforms that they can either watch it or reach out to the producer of the film. How can folks find you on social media?
You can find me on Instagram and Facebook primarily. At On Instagram, Baby Kitty 13, but it's spelled BBYKTTY 13, and on Facebook, Carla Azeneth Gestel. If you type in Carla with a K, Azeneth Azeneth, Gestel Gastel, and that's how you'll find me.
Fantastic. We'll tag you on this post.
Sweet,
so
cool.
that they can just follow you. Now you're very active. You're working. You're doing multiple things.
Mhm.
So you've got a premiere tomorrow, I understand.
Yes, Halloween night, I was involved with doing makeup for one day of shooting and hair just on one actress, Brenda, and then I also did. I said makeup already,
Mhm.
right? Okay, yeah. Oh, an extra. Excuse me. It was an extra when we did like a Halloween in July kind of um, uh, scheduling, but it was really fun to be able to see everybody in their costumes. And so now that it's finally out, it's going to be really awesome to see this is another clown themed one as well, but not related to the previous one.
Mhm.
And that's going to be tomorrow at the Edinburgh Performing Arts Center, from 7 to 10, I believe, with Popular Loner, a local band, and also some other like Q&A and the screening as well.
Fantastic. We've had Popular Loner here multiple times in our show, so check those out. Oh, fantastic. Can they reach out on social media and find for the movie for tomorrow, more information on the movie for tomorrow, the premiere?
Yes, the tickets are available on Eventbrite, I believe. If you were to go in and search Halloween night, you can also go to Instagram, and the director's Instagram, he would have it there at
Mhm.
_Hugo_Rodriguez.
Okay. Fantastic. Yeah, check it out. That's tomorrow,
Mhm.
Friday
And that's
in Edinburgh.
excuse me, sorry.
Sorry.
That's Real Valley Entertainment is a production company that did
Okay.
that one.
That's right. Fantastic. Yeah, there's I'm excited to see a lot of these companies that are popping up,
Mhm.
and I teach part time at UTRGV, and I see a lot of talent go through here. In fact, a lot of my former students were in that last film from the last premiere, Black Clown 3,
Oh, that's
and
awesome.
your twin. The person that played your twin there,
Adrian,
yes,
yes. Mhm.
and so and a few others. So it's really neat to see Valley Town, rising up to the top and getting these gigs and going out and getting movies in other places and then
Mhm.
just it's great. It's what we're all about. We're all about just promoting local talent and just propose. Helping to just promote them
Mhm.
and hope that they land a nice gig somewhere else and then bring back some of that back to the valley.
Definitely, definitely. And it's always inspiring because either way, whether they have that contribution of bringing back in some sense, they're still bringing back because it's always a representation of our community making it. Like if they've made it, we've made it.
That's right.
So it's always like as long as we can help, anybody move forward and keep going forward, that's always a win for everybody, I think.
Now, are you originally from the valley or
Yes,
okay,
born and
excellent.
raised. I'm more from the Alton area, then to Mission, and then back to Alton.
Excellent, fantastic.
Mhm.
So valley grown,
Mhm.
native,
Born and raised.
born and raised here. Excellent. That's great to see talent
Mhm.
from the area and succeeding. So we wish you much success.
Thank
Now,
you.
I know that when you're working on projects, sometimes you can't divulge a lot of information. But is there any other projects that you are maybe in the works, maybe in the back burner? Any other projects that you're working on?
There's 4 currently that are in the works, 2 that I'm in the audition process, 2 that are one's in the I think writing process, and the second one's kind of already been written more or less, or is a musical, but that they are working on the production side of it. So once everything's in order, that um, we'll get the green light to go ahead and go with that. But again, I'll be posting things on my social media. But for anybody out there who's wanting to audition or for have things like that, there's Facebook pages that you can look at. I don't want to say the wrong one right now, but I'll definitely comment them afterwards and give them a shout out, so that way people who else are interested can go and look at that as well too.
Yeah, and then we also post auditions under the Film in Valleywood.
That's
So
awesome.
go give that page a follow as well on Facebook
Definitely.
and Instagram. We'll post auditions, and you know, when the other folks post them, or when RGV those RGV talent groups start posting auditions, we share them also, because we want to make sure that our audience also takes advantage of those auditions.
Hmm.
And don't be afraid to go out. You know, don't be afraid of go out and audition. Are there any words of encouragement to folks that are wanting to get into this business?
Definitely. I always have a bunch of things I could say, I guess, specifically with talking with auditions. That's the first place to start. A lot of the time, people hold themselves back, whether they're going to be auditioning or creating the auditions. No matter what part that they're wanting to fulfill or take the role of, that there's always kind of like that self saboteur in the back of your head, being like, oh, what if they get it, or what if they're looking for somebody who's a little bit more like this or somebody a little bit more like that. But working on the other side, because I've worked on all sides of it and I love all aspects of it, and especially being able to have the experience to be able to see all sides, I've especially learned within the past couple years, is just audition. You don't know who's going, you don't know who's showing up, you don't know who's actually going to do it. Whether you've seen who's going on Facebook and putting that they're going to go, or posting, oh, I'm so excited to do this, that's great, but focus on yourself. Make sure that you're prepared. Do a little warm up. Get out your little like jig, your little energy dance before you go. Look up some things on YouTube that you're interested in bettering yourself about, whether it's like a tongue twister or having confidence, or the way that you should speak in an audition. There's videos and there's tips and tools and things out there for you to look up and learn from. And also just have the confidence in yourself, because that's the most important thing. Like, if you can just go out there and say, I have nothing to lose, I have nothing to prove, just show. I'm just going to come be myself, and I'm going to read that script to the best of my ability, understand it the best of my ability, and comprehend it to what's me, because that's what makes you an actor, and you unique and personal more than anything. And what I like to call with flavor, with spice, when you add little moments of like a pause, or when you speed up your pace, or put a little bit of volume to it, or maybe put in a little bit of laugh, or really milk the moment. So like taking those things, and also looking at actors that you like. Why do you like them? It's because they take those moments as well, and that it's something that you've related to in your own personal experience. Because when you saw that little eyebrow move, it's like, oh, I felt that deep inside. So also to study the people that you admire and that you would, I guess, like to reflect in some way, because it's not copying. If you're wanting to better yourself, and you're studying and you're taking it for a sense of, okay, I'm looking at what their technique is and doing my best to practice that as well, because it is practice, but it's also play. And that's one of the coolest things, because you hear with like lawyers that they practice, or doctors practice, but actors, they play. And to be able to like go into any type of thing that you do, whether it's a side hobby or something that you want to do for a living, and to be able to say, I'm going to go and play at work today, like that's really, really cool. And I think really, really freeing. So have that in the back of your mind, that like, you have nothing to lose. This is all for you. Do it for yourself, and you work just as hard trying to fulfill somebody else's dreams whenever you're at work or whenever you're doing something else. So put in the same effort towards yourself, because your dreams are just as valid. They're just as important. And if you can do it, like if you have the mind and you have the want and the dream or the idea of like, this sounds good, it's already yours. It's already, you can already obtain it. You just have to put in those little steps to get there, and they may seem big, but they are little steps, and there may be a lot of them, but you just have to keep going and keep taking them, no matter like what hurdles you face, or no matter what obstacles or things that you might replay because of instances or experiences that you may have. But take a breath, let it go, understand that that's not now, that's not this moment. You've survived all that and you're here. And it's time to move forward and do that for you, you know. So I think that's like the biggest thing.
That's great. That's great advice. Thank you for sharing that with our viewers.
Thank
When
you.
it comes to auditioning, I always tell my students, if you have an audition, go out and try it. Get the experience. Just do it. Do it. Go out and audition as many times as you can for the experience. And if you
Mm-hmm.
don't get the role, don't take it to heart. It's probably not you. It's probably just the director, the producers they had someone else, a different character in mind, and it's probably not the right role for you.
Mm-hmm.
When the right role drops into your lap, or when you go in and audition for the right role, you're going to get selected. That's going to be and I would much rather be casted in the right role than be casted in a role that is not for me.
Mm-hmm.
That I'm not going to do it justice. That it's not. I'm not going to be able to do my best. So I would much rather, take it and just take the learning experience and not take it to heart. So I
Mm-hmm.
didn't get casted. That's okay. Even Hollywood Academy Award winners don't get casted for every movie that they go audition.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So don't take it to heart. Go out. Don't be afraid. Audition, and check it out. Go to as many film premieres as you can. Go out and hang out with students that are filming movies. Go out, and if you find out they're, go on set. Ask permission to be on set and just observe. Just try to learn as much as you can if that's what you want to do.
Mm-hmm, definitely. And also, along with gaining experience, they've now seen you audition. And if they didn't see that you were a right fit for this particular role, they have you in their mind and they're going to say, hey, I remember that other person. So the next time you come in, it's like, okay, that's kind of like you've already auditioned in a sense, but not really great because you're bringing a different thing to
Mhm.
this character and what you should. But you're also putting yourself in that sense, and also other actors are also other people who direct, who do film, who do all these other projects, who are so creative and so they're just artists. So you also get to again meet these people and make those connections, but and further your craft and see what how they practice and just learn, because you can never stop learning, you know.
Mhm.
I always think that that's something that we can take, and something my parents always told me is that no matter what happens to you in life, no matter what gets taken from you, your knowledge can never be taken from you. So I think that if you do it, it's fantastic, and pat yourself on the back and be proud, because it does take courage, it does take bravery, it does take a lot to put yourself out there and to say I'm gonna do it no matter what, and I'm gonna be acting like an elephant on
Mhm.
stage or something
Yeah.
wacky that sometimes you may have to ask to do sometimes. But it's you're not above it, you know what I mean? Like, just do it, and once you walk out, be like, that was great, that was great. Even
Mhm.
if you felt like that was the worst audition you've ever had, or the worst like that you could have done, set it aside and be like, you know what, no, I did that, I did it, and I'm proud of myself, you know? So,
That's right. Excellent advice. Thank you for sharing that with us. Is there anything else that we might have forgotten to ask that you want to share?
um, other than keep doing it no matter where you are in the world. If you see that there's something that you want to do your best to do it, no matter where you come from, what you have, financially, materially. That doesn't matter. Your idea is gold. If you have a phone, fantastic, you know what I mean? If you have other equipment, it builds from there, right? But there's other people in your community too who want to do the same thing. So ask and put it out there that you're doing this as well. Also, just to shout out, I want to say to Hannah Benavides, she's a 19-year-old filmmaker from Brownsville. I just recently did To Raise a Monarch with her. That you can see it on YouTube.
I saw that piece. It was
Oh,
great.
thank you, thank you. I just want to say she's a prime example of that. Her and her sister, she did everything on her own with like camera work, editing, putting it out. She's sending it off to festivals, so hopefully we'll see if there's any submissions. We've got honorable mention for one that we've received back already, so that's really, really cool for us. And congratulations to her. But like, she did it. Like, she's just so inspiring to me, and like, just thinking like the way that she had an idea, and the way that like we just coincidentally, like, our stories matched up with that piece specifically. Like, it was all perfect, and I just can't help but say like, she's a great example of that. So like, no matter your age, no matter where you come from, no matter what you have, no matter your experience, just do it and be proud of yourself for trying.
Great words of advice. Thank you for sharing that with our audience. The doors are always open here at 97.7 FM. Come back and share, your next projects, your next accomplishments, your next goals, and go out and support her. Go out and follow her. Carla Gastel. She's blowing up, guys. Follow her.
Thank you for having me. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. Thank you.
And we wish you the best in all your endeavors, and we hope to see you back here soon.
Thank you. You as well. Thank you.
Thank you guys for joining us and for watching 97.7 FM in this special edition of Film in Valleywood, where we talk to Carla Gastel from the area. So until next time, keep it right here at 97.7 FM, The City.